In ASP.NET Core Blazor, you handle UI events by binding DOM events directly to C# methods using the @on directive attribute. These event handlers automatically trigger UI re-rendering, allowing the component state to update and reflect changes in the UI without manual intervention. Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the ASP.NET Core Blazor for Beginners. I am Render Sharma, a Microsoft certified .NET trainer. In this video, we are going to look at how you can handle UI events from your Blazor components. Web UI elements can trigger all sorts of events in response to user interaction, and you can handle those events from your C# code. Let's check it out. Alright, so here is our web project. And counter component, we have already seen how we can handle click event on a button. Here we are wiring up event handler for the on-click event of the button. Increment count is defined below in the code block, and it's a synchronous method that takes no arguments. Start the app. Go to the browser. Click the button and it is working. But we could instead define an asynchronous method. Async. Name it increment count. Async. Now change handler name here. Increment count. Async. Go to the browser. Now if we click the button, it is still working. Now it is async method. Let's add some delay to it. Task dot delay 1000 milliseconds. Use await. Save that. Go to the browser. If we click the button, the counter increments after 1000 milliseconds. Now it's a sluggish counter. Instead of using this method name, here we can use a lambda expression. Current count plus plus. So whenever the button's click event will be triggered, okay, we can increment it right there in line. Save that. Go to the browser. If we click the button, the counter is still working. Let's increment counter by 2. Save the changes. Go to the browser. And if we click the button, the counter is working and it is now incrementing by 2. Let's remove existing event handlers. Remove these methods. Now let's start from scratch. Type method name here that you want to use to handle this event. Increment count. Now click on this light bulb or hit Control dot. Click generate event handler or generate async event handler. Let's generate synchronous one. Now it has an event argument. This argument is optional. You don't need to have it here. Current count plus plus. Go to the browser and the counter is working. So this is how you can define event handlers, synchronous or asynchronous, and how you can use code actions to generate them. Now let's try some different events. What about onChange for input element? Add input element. Use onChange directive. Add onChange. Set it to onChange. Generate event handler by clicking Control dot and click generate event handler. Now declare one variable here, private string text, set it to empty string, and onChange set text to args dot value. Value is object type and we want string type value. Cast it to string. Now display value of this text variable somewhere. Let's show it in p element. Now put these elements inside div. Let's set class to empty 3, margin top 3. Now go to the browser. Now type some text in the input and press tab or click outside to move focus away from the input element. The onChange event will be triggered, which will call the event handler, which sets the value in the text variable, and the component renders and we see the value here. Notice that the Blazor automatically re-renders the component after our event handler has executed. Okay, that's great. What if we want the output in p element to update as we type? We can do that as well. Instead of onChange, we can use onInput. Use onInput. Now press F2 and change it to onInput, and this handler name will automatically change. Now save that and go to the browser. Now as we type, it gets updated. Let's try one more. Let's add one more div below. Inside it, render some text. Let's declare a variable private string div text and set it to mouse out initially. Now render this text inside div at div text. Give it some color, style, set it to background color. Let's set it to orange. Use one directive at on mouse over set it to on mouse over. Now generate event handler by clicking control dot, click generate event handler. Now in mouse over, set div text to mouse over. Use expression body for this method. To use expression body, click this light bulb, click use expression body for method. That's much nicer. We want one more attribute. So here use at on mouse out, set it to on mouse out, generate event handler for this directive, and in this handler set div text to mouse out, and we should be good to go. Save it. Mouse out, mouse over, mouse out. Okay, it is working. So that's how you can handle events from UI elements from code. That's great. What if we have a custom component that also want to have an event that we want to handle from component that is using it? Can we do that as well? Yes, we can do that as well. Let's add a new component to our project. Name it my button.razor. Use HTML button element. Click me. Add code block. Now inside code block, add one parameter. Public event callback. Event callback. Mouse event args. Mouse event args. And name it on click. Get set. We can use it for passing a callback. The event callback class is a special Blazor class that can be exposed as a parameter so that components can easily notify consumers when something of interest has occurred. Once a public property of type event callback has been declared and decorated with parameter attribute, consuming components can specify a razor markup, which method to call and when the event is triggered. Now set buttons on click attribute, set it to on button click. Generate event handler. Let's generate async event handler. On click dot invoke async and pass args. To fix this issue, use return. Unlike .NET delegates, event callback cannot be null, and therefore there is no need to do any null checking when emitting the event. Let's go back to the counter. Use my button and subscribe to event callback named onClick, my button, onClick. Let's set it to this handler increment count. Increment count. Go to the browser, and now we have one more button, and it is working. Now if you hover over onClick, it is actually event callback type. This onClick is also event callback type. Okay, same type. So we can set this onClick to this onClick attribute to onClick. We can remove this handler. Now go to the browser, and it is still working. Now this button has this text, click me. How can we pass this text from the counter component? In counter component, from counter component, we want to pass my button. And my button declare one more parameter, public render fragment, type child content, get set, and use this child content here at child content. Save the changes, go to the browser, and now this button has my button text. If you want to apply some styling to this button, like in counter component, we want to set class to btn and btn success. Can we add a class like this? Go to the browser. Now Blazor is complaining that I don't see a parameter named class. Blazor is expecting the class to be a parameter on my button component. Add another parameter to the component. Parameter public dictionary string and object. Let's name it additional attributes. Get set, and for this parameter set one property, capture unmatched values to true. Now we want to render these additional attributes on the HTML button here. So to do that, there is a razor directive at attributes, here pass in the value additional attributes. Now restart the app, go to the browser. Now we have a green button. So we have seen how in Blazor you can handle web UI events from the web elements in your app, and also how to raise events from a custom component. You can also pass child content to a component and handle additional attributes on your component. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.